today's Planning Commission meeting to order for Tuesday, January 17th, 2025. Mr. Secretary, you want to do the roll call, or have you recorded all the members present?
I've recorded those present.
Okay. I'd like to start by introducing Douglas Pizzarni, who's the newest commission member, all the way on my right-hand side. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for the mayor for getting our compliment filled out. We appreciate that. All right. First order of business, approval of the May 20th, 2025 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Being
Sorry, there's also the special meeting that was held last month. Those also have to be approved separately.
okay. So, do you know the date of was that the 20th also? Okay. So there was a special meeting we held on the 20th, same date, and the minutes were distributed. So, motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Public comment or correspondence?
There is no public comment or correspondence.
Okay. All right. Old business, the Saldo amendment updates. Ms. Fry, do you want to
Sure, I'm happy to
walk
give-
us through those?
Yes. So over the last several weeks, we have been working with the retained consultant, Michael Baker, Troy Truatt, and we've done a lot of internal review. We've met with the solicitors, we've met with Public Works, we've met with zoning, our chief zoning officer and zoning officers, and we have almost completed a final draft. I know I've sent the commissioners a draft, but there have been some changes as of yesterday, so I'll be sending you another draft. I would like to recommend that the commissioners call for a special meeting so that we can walk through these edits with you, and also invite our council liaisons to that meeting so that they can start to understand what these edits mean for the city internally, for our processes. And so that is the recommendation that I'd like to make today to the board.
Okay, I will make a motion to hold a special meeting, conduct or invite the individuals you indicated to it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposition. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will most likely hold this special meeting after the July 4th holiday due to some internal staff that is out for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So the schedule would be that we would hold the special meeting for the Saldo amendments at the beginning of July, with the hope that we would be able to approve those amendments at the Planning Commission in July. After that, there's a series of other things, obviously, that we'll have to go through in terms of a public hearing. We would post these amendments publicly for public comment, and then it would have to go to council for 2 readings. And we'd have to do a public hearing. I might have said that already. Yes. So we're looking at several weeks out before we would adopt the amendments.
Okay. Prior to the meeting, Mr. Pizzarni asked or mentioned that he had some questions. Anything you want to go over now, or?
I'll just wait till the special review.
Okay, all right. Great. Any other?
Questions on the saldo? Okay.
Any other discussion related to the saldo? Then we'll move on. New business. The subdivision and land development. Anything?
There's none.
Any update on zoning? Rezoning, rather.
There is none.
Okay. I assume there's nothing for the blighted property designation. I don't see Aaron here. The item D, Erie Neighborhood Growth Partnership, a partnership for community impact, planning, and neighborhood resources. Any comments there?
I'm going to invite Liz Reyes to come up to the podium as well, because this was work that we did together, really driven by the neighborhood resource part of our department. Erie Neighborhood Growth Partnership has been around for quite some time and has gone through a transition of ups and downs and a lot of engagement and just in terms of being engaged with the neighborhoods and connections. It is rebuilding at this moment, with the Redevelopment Authority being the lead of the ENGP board. Liz, because many of our goals and priorities in neighborhood resources and the planning department align so closely with the ENGP mission for connection, communication, engagement, we felt that it was important that we not reinvent the wheel and yet create yet another platform or initiative at the city that or not necessarily at the city, but just in general. And so we have been working over the last several months with the Redevelopment Authority to collaborate on work together through the ENGP platform. We decided upon an option of the structure of who's going to do what and be responsible, and last week we presented this new collaboration with we presented to the ENGP members and at a board meeting. And essentially, we will be, the Redevelopment Authority will still be responsible and maintain the ENGP board, which is made up of residents, and they're the approving body, just as you would think of it. And Neighborhood Resources will be taking the lead on a resident advisory committee, which I want Liz to just quickly just explain what that is. And also we'll be taking the lead on a neighborhood organization subcommittee of this ENGP. It is crucial that we have not only an outlet for our department to connect with residents and neighborhood organizations, but also the other way around, that residents have access to resources, have access to information, have a voice, have the ability to be involved in different planning aspects at the city level. So we're still developing this initiative, but we're very excited about it because it's very much needed in our community, and we have vetted it through some of the neighborhood organizations already, and there has been some very positive feedback around it. So, and Liz, if you don't mind just briefly explaining those two subcommittees of the ENGP to just elaborate quite a little bit.
Yeah, so this resident advisory committee would offer a new opportunity and space for residents from all areas of the city. Typically, we'd like to see a representative from each of the planning areas to have a voice in this committee. There is no opportunity now for residents to come and be a part of, the decision-making process of projects, grant opportunities, initiatives that are happening in their neighborhood. So this new platform would provide that space and the platform for them to come to the table and be informed and be engaged in the process of these initiatives that are happening in their neighborhood. So it's a new collaborative opportunity that we're really excited for, and we're looking to engage with all residents from all neighborhoods. And we've started making some connections so far, but really we just want to connect all neighborhoods at every level. So this committee would serve as that. The Neighborhood Organization Committee may or may not be renamed, because we want to first define what is a neighborhood organization, and really offer clear understanding for residents of the differences between what may be a neighborhood organization versus a neighborhood association versus a neighborhood watch group, and really define those terms and have the opportunity available for all residents to be engaged in that as well. But really, yeah, just offering a new space for new residents and leaders. Any typical resident who just wants to be educated about city processes, who is City Hall, what does City Hall do, and be engaged at every level.
Also working with the neighborhood groups, associations, ones that maybe need to form more of a 501c3 if assistance is needed. How can we build that into this portfolio? And essentially, funding is another component to this. How can through the ENGP, how can we work collaboratively with these different neighborhood planning areas so that we can provide funding, possibly either through the city outlet or through the ENGP, which is the 501c3, which is a 501c3. So there's a lot of opportunity there for both Redevelopment Authority and the city to come together and work together in this realm. So, any questions around that? There's more development there that we'll be sharing in the next couple of months.
No, none at this point. Thank you.
Yeah, and I did want to provide, Jack, if you don't mind, a project schedule for Love Your Block projects. We'll be starting our first project the July 4th weekend. So I just wanted to provide you with that schedule, and we are currently still determining times and locations with neighborhood groups, as we're still we'll be meeting with them this week and next to finalize the times and locations, but project scopes have been determined with a lot of the neighborhood groups. So as you can see, the first one coming up the July 4th weekend will be in the Academy neighborhood. We'll be partnering with Academy Neighborhood Association to provide a dumpster cleanup project, potentially landscaping, giving out plants to residents that are involved in that project. We'll be in the Buffalo Road area, partnering with the Urban Erie Community Development Corporation, working with the youth to do also a dumpster cleanup, maybe some cleanup around the creek there as well. We'll be in the West Bayfront, so we've been talking to our West Bayfront about partnering with their anti-litter campaign coming up as well. We've discussed about potentially having a comprehensive neighborhood hygiene week, potentially having a dumpster cleanup as there as well. We'll have small home repairs happening in the Central City and Snoops area. We'll be proposing alley cleanup there as well, and with some tabling resources from the city. We'll be in the Lower East Bayfront and East Bayfront, and we're partnering with Groundwork Erie to do a dumpster cleanup, potentially installing a new fence at one of the vacant lots. And we're meeting with Groundwork Erie youth next week to make sure that those youth that live in the neighborhood, this is something that they like to see, and make sure we get their input as well. And then ending with the Pulaski Lighthouse neighborhood, we'll have a dumpster cleanup in that area, and partnering with UPMC Neighborhood Center and the East Ave Hess Neighborhood Watch. We'll also have another dumpster cleanup in the Little Italy neighborhood in September, so that's just something else to keep in mind as well. And all of these updates will be updated this week on our website as well.
Okay.
Quick
Thank you very
question.
much.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Where can people that are interested in assisting with this reach out to you specifically, or, because I got questions about this from the Boys and Girls Club of Erie.
Yeah, so we in volunteering or having a project in their neighborhood, both. Yeah, they can reach out to me directly. I actually have emailed John Popoff this week, so I can reach out to him as well.
That's who
about
asked.
that. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we can email him. We can potentially have him be a part of that Pulaski Lighthouse Week as well in August. I'll reach out to him.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we will have more information available this week on the website, so we'll have a volunteer recruitment form available as well.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
You bet. Anything more under that heading? Nope. Item F, or E, rather, establishing a neighborhood plan framework, planning and
Yes.
neighborhood resources.
Yes, this is an idea to introduce. There's nothing set in stone to talk about really yet, but we've discussed in our department coming up with a neighborhood plan framework that we would develop to provide to neighborhood groups and everybody in the city for when they're writing their own plans for their areas, just to ensure uniformity and equity across the city in all of these plans, and also so that everybody's kind of operating on the same sets of data and everything. The first step would be coming up with kind of a table of contents that we would want to see everybody collect. And we wouldn't be mandating any kind of formatting for these plans. Like we wouldn't say you have to use this shade of orange and have all of your page numbers on the bottom right or anything. It would be like we want everybody to collect this kind of data about renting versus owning and housing in every area of the city, so that we have it in our department and at the city, and that when we're looking through plans, it's easier to compare and contrast across different areas of the city. So step one, I think, is coming up with a table of contents and all of the information that we would like to require for these plans. And the idea would be that this framework, conformity with this framework would be required for official adoption of any kind of neighborhood plan.
I think that's will be a big improvement for our consideration, you know, going forward as these things get revised because they're updated. Because previously there's, you know, it'd be soup to nuts in terms of what we're looking at. So I think that'll be a good improvement. Are you engaging? Is this something that the department's researching? Are we using a consultant at all?
I think it's going to be internal in our
Okay.
department. Yeah, something that I'll be spending time on now, since we've hired a permanent historic preservation planner, Matthew Falcone, who's here with us today. So those responsibilities are off of my plate, and I have more time to work on other things. It'll be a project.
Yeah, it strikes me that we're not the first group who wants to end up with a comprehensive or uniform approach, and some research might save a lot of head scratching.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we also, the department has done, as you know, several neighborhood plans that you've adopted. And we've also, in the last year, adopted two other neighborhood plans. We've also heard that there are certain neighborhoods that are interested in either writing their first neighborhood plan or updating an existing plan. So I think this is good timing. We also, as we move into land development review, this would be a lot easier to
Right.
have some kind of consistency in format, knowing what's in these neighborhood plans when at time of review. I think that will be much easier in the long run. So we do also have still technical assistance provided by Michael Baker that we
Right.
can run things through. But the first initial part would be to look at several other neighborhood plans and what is it that we want in these documents that are going to be that will have some meat first of all and some tools in there for actual implementation.
Right.
I think that's what we'd really like to see.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. Item F, understanding the signs that define our city. Again, planning and neighborhood resources.
So we thought we would be able to present this to you today, but we're actually going to wait until the next planning commission meeting. There's a little bit more work that we would like to do on this presentation. Hannah Oleski, who is our neighborhood resource coordinator, went out into the field and took about 40 photographs of signage in downtown, along commercial corridors, in some neighborhood mix corridors, neighborhood commercial corridors, and started this inventory. As she was doing that, she also consulted with our zoning officer on the signage ordinance that we have currently in the zoning ordinance, and to understand compliance and non-conforming uses. So we would like a little bit more time to work on this and then present our findings and a path forward for possibly a new signage ordinance at the City of Erie. So.
Good. Thank you. Item 6, Department of Planning and Neighborhood Resources updates. Love your blog. Ms. Reyes?
Liz went during the ENGP
Okay.
part, so
All right.
so she did give an update. But
Okay.
I did want to I wanted to ask Matthew Falcone to come up if you wouldn't mind. This is Matthew's second day. As many of you know, Matthew was the chair of the Historic Review Commission, has recently stepped down as a board member, and was hired at the City of Erie to be our new historic preservation planner. So, Matthew, if you wouldn't mind just maybe giving a little bit of background and a few words to the Planning Commission, that'd be great.
Sure. It's good to see all of you from this angle, which is a novelty. I think that Director Spry covered most of it. My background is that I'm from Pittsburgh, moved up here to take the job. I worked at a nonprofit historic preservation organization in Pittsburgh. Also, I sit on the state's historic preservation board. So it was a good transition to make for me, because I know that for a while the planning department has been carrying all the preservation work on their shoulders. And sitting on the commission, kind of hearing, what could be done if we had, I think, a bit more support, made me get out of my chair and come to this side of it. So I'm very happy to be here. We have a lot of things kind of moving through the works. I think to follow up on that special meeting that we had, we're going before council tomorrow to talk about the Article 7 revisions and the changes to that ordinance. We've had a robust period of public comment where the ordinance has been posted, and we've had a few people provide feedback that's been pretty positive. So we are looking forward to moving that along, which also would then open up the gates for historic nominations. And I think that we've talked a little about this, but there's more than, I'd say, anywhere between a half dozen and a dozen folks from the community that have stepped forward that are interested in having their piece of Erie landmarked. So we're very excited to be able to help them and to move it forward, and I know that we'll be working together soon. So, thank you.
Yeah, excellent news. I think that historic preservation's had a difficult gestation in moving forward and getting to a point where you can be active, so get busy.
I am that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Any other items?
Yes, one more update from the department. Our ongoing DCNR grant for tree plantings, the Urban Forestry Project, we have chosen Arbor Pro, a firm from California, to come and do the tree inventory throughout this year. Based on the funding, they'll be coming to survey about 18,500 trees along streets, in parks, and in boulevards of the city of Erie, which will be a significant portion of the city's trees. I think Sarah estimated about 25,000 trees in the city of Erie. So this would be a majority of the trees for this part of the inventory. And we are excited to have them coming by. We just made the decision yesterday. So the inventory should be getting underway soon.
And how long does that take? A year?
Should be done by the end of this year.
Oh, the end of
Yeah.
this year, okay. Great. Any other updates? Nope. All right. Next item is adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, motion and a second for adjournment. Any opposition? None, hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you all. We'll see you in a month.